Today, I want to talk about a really weird, really awesome study out of Yale and the Senckenberg Research Institute. This study examined the fossils of an extinct species of monitor lizard, which lived around 34 million years ago. Now, most animals have two eyes, and reptiles are no exception. These eyes can be oriented in a variety of different ways depending on the species, like a horse or a goat, which have side-facing eyes that give them the optimal viewpoint to scan their environment and watch for predators. Then on the other hand, you have the predators themselves, like owls and tigers and animals like that, and these all have forward-facing eyes on the front of their skull, and these give them binocular vision, which is really good for depth perception, for tracking, chasing, and then tackling your prey. The extinct reptile species is called Siniwa incidens, and much like every other reptile, it has two eyes in its head that it uses to look around and get a visual perception of the world around it. Now, many reptiles just have these two eyes, just the two eyes and that's it. But a shrinking minority of reptiles also possess a third eye, called a pineal organ, which sits on the top of their head. This third eye is really strange. It doesn't see the world like the two main eyes do, and it doesn't blink, but it does have cells that are photoreceptive. They're sensitive to light. So this third eye, this pineal eye, plays a really big role in the reptile's circadian rhythm and detection of the seasons or the time of year. And not surprisingly, but kind of cool, that's the same purpose that the pineal gland has in the brains of mammals, like us. The lead author of the paper is Christer Smith, and he was quoted as saying, "We only know that the ancestors of major land vertebrate groups all had a third eye. If we want to understand the course of its evolution, then we need to know when the parapineal assumed its present role, as in lizards," unquote. Now, I'll get into the parapineal gland in just a second. As the vertebrate lineage evolved and branched out, some lineages, like the emergent archosaurs and then the emergent mammals, saw the pineal gland descend from the top of their head, sinking through their skull into their brain. While other lineages, like several reptiles, they still retained their external pineal structures. Now, despite how totally awesome this is, it's not the exciting stuff that I want to talk about today. What's exciting is that this extinct species, this Siniwa incidens monitor lizard, also possessed a fourth eye, called a parapineal organ, and it sits just behind the pineal organ on the top of the head. Now, just like the pineal eye, this parapineal organ is not like a regular eye. It can't blink, it doesn't produce a clear image, but it does have a lens, and it is photosensitive. This fourth eye has never been seen before in any other species of jawed reptile. The researchers argue that, quote, "In order most easily to redevelop into a lens-bearing eye in Siniwa incidens, the ancestral pineal organ must have had some latent photoreceptive capability, or a structural predisposition to photoreceptivity," unquote. The researchers estimate that the parapineal organ is an eye that was re-evolved from the pineal organ. As many reptiles were evolving to lose their third eyes, in at least one species, the Siniwa incidens, their evolution took them in the opposite direction, so as to evolve a fourth eye. The researchers suggest that this implies some unknown functions of the pineal organ, or some misunderstood quality of the pineal organ, like perhaps a more complex photoreceptivity that we didn't really understand, as the staging ground for the re-evolution of another eye-like structure. The positioning of the parapineal organ is in the midline of the reptile's body, right behind the pineal organ, so it's quite likely that evolutionarily it was derived from this organ growing and branching off or being replicated entirely. But what we do know is that the simultaneous existence of these pineal and parapineal organs in these monitor lizard fossils is proof that at one time, 34 million years ago, there was a species of four-eyed jawed reptiles crawling across the surface of the Earth.